my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today we're reviewing Rob Zombie's Halloween in 2007. I am legit concerned and excited and confused and so many emotions going in to reviewing this movie. The freaking, but first things first, I need to mention this real quick, is I am aware that there are two different versions of this movie. There is the theatrical cut and the director's cut. But unlike Curse of Michael Myers, the changes aren't significant enough, in my opinion, to warrant a whole separate video. So I will just talk about the direct, because I did look at some stuff for the director's cut as well, so I can talk about that. So, let me clarify. I watched the director's cut because it's the version that's more widely available. And I looked up all the comparison stuff to the the comparisons. My mind is blanking. The comparisons and stuff, and watch some of the clips are different, and I'll talk about those in this review. First things first, obviously this is a remake of the Halloween, and things about this movie that really interest me, especially the most interesting bit of the movie, the most interesting stuff, is like the first 30 to 40 minutes, I don't remember, it's like somewhere around that. Like, we get a backstory on Michael, which we didn't even need, because I feel like just having him abruptly just try to kill his family and everything in the original was fine. But this isn't bad. I don't mind this. And it's the best part of the movie. After that, you basically get a bunch of redone shots from the original, and just a bunch of stuff. It's like, there's good stuff in that part too, but we'll get to that. One thing I really, let's talk about the first half bit. The first bit with the kid that plays Michael is really nice, and all this stuff at the start is pretty decent. Except for the weird placement of the Halloween theme, it's really, really weird at one point, and also the origins of the mask that Michael wears is done really dumb in this, in my opinion. It really didn't need an origin, really, but like, I guess Rob Zombie felt that needed to happen. One thing that I will point out, I hate this family with this, because they're all just, and I get like you're not supposed to like them, because like it's supposed to show that like Michael comes from a toxic household, and that's what leads him into turning into this monster. But at the same time, like, there's some dialogue here that I really am uncomfortable with, that I do not like. And it's very Rob Zombie. And normally, like, if I was reviewing something like A House with 1,000 Corpses or The Devil's Rejects or something like that, like, that's different. But this is a Halloween movie. That's why I have to mention that. That's just, I can't not mention that. It's just so much of a derailment. I have to mention it. Like, it's something that I have to do. I have to mention that. But with that being said, the origin is handled fairly decent for the most part. There's some solid stuff there. And in the director's cut, we'll get to that. Later on, we get a bunch of other stuff. There's not a lot of significant changes between the two cuts, by the way. But there is some big parts that I want to talk about. We'll get to those in a minute. But one thing I do, Lori in this is actually much more interesting than she is in the original. I know this is not as good as the original. That's not what I'm trying to say. This is not as good as the original, but I'm saying I kind of prefer this Lori Don't get me wrong, I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's a great actress. I love her. And I liked her in H2O. I liked her in the little bit she was in Resurrection. And I like her in the original and in Halloween 2. But I feel like I like this Laurie more because she has she's not boring. She has a personality that I like to get to know, and I want to know more about her and everything. And Laurie's family in this is like amazing, especially in the director's cut. You get a lot more dialogue from them. So, like the kills. Oh shoot! Let me get the kills. Talk about them kills. The kills in this movie. Dang, man, they're intense. Like, Michael is the most intense he has ever been in this movie. Like, he is slamming people into bathroom stalls, like breaking them, like full on, like crushing people. Freaking, it's terrifying how brutal Michael is in this movie. We'll just ignore the fact that his long hair disappears when he puts the mask on, but and the characters, like I said, are mostly good. One that really is the original actress for Jamie Lloyd in Halloween 4 and 5 comes back to this movie, but not as Jamie. That's not as Jamie. And it's nice to see her come back, but also there is a problem with her coming back. Now let's get into more of the negative aspects. This movie, I don't think I'll ever complain about the unnecessary nudity in a Friday the 13th movie ever again, because the unnecessary amount of nudity in this movie, I don't know how bad it is in the theatrical cut, but I know in this version there's a lot. There's a lot, like full on like stuff I do not want to see, like straight up like. There's just like why do we need this? I get for some like you gotta show some stuff for the sex scenes and stuff, and I guess that's fine if that's what you want to do with your movie, but. Obviously, some of this is just unnecessary that we do not need to see. And one thing that makes me really uncomfortable, going back to Jamie, the actress that played Jamie Lloyd, she has a sex scene or something, and I do not like it. It makes me feel very uncomfortable, just because of the fact that it's. That's that actress. I know like they should be able to go off and do different roles and everything, but it just feels weird. The fact that it's in the same franchise and it's the same actress, that's just what makes me did not like that. And getting down with getting uncomfortable. Overall, I do think the director's cut is the better version, even though it's longer. Even though I do think it's the better version because of the fact that one. Dr. Loomis is, and it's good to have a movie with Loomis again. I know it's not the same actor, but it's good to have Loomis back. And in the director's cut, he's actually a lot more sympathetic, and you can tell like he actually wants to help Michael and just wants things to be done well and everything. But my main problem with the director's cut is that was a tiny burp, what the heck, is the escape scene when Michael escapes. In the theatrical version, he's being transported to another facility by some cops or guards or whatever, and then he winds up killing all of them and escaping. That's fine. I wish that was in the director's cut, because I think the only thing that keeps me from wanting to watch this director's cut is the escape scene. In it, there's this like really like I guess you could say he's a really scumbag person that's introduced. He only has one scene in the original, in the theatrical cut, but in the director's cut he's got two scenes, and he's established as a real big jerk and just pretty racist, I guess you could say, and all with that being said, though, what they do with the escape scene, they basically they unlock a female inmate, and they proceed to sexually assault her and verbally sexually assault her as well. And they've literally, it's a full-on rape scene, which makes me so uncomfortable to watch. And it goes on for way too long. And as soon as Michael, like, killed them, I was like, what the heck, man? I was like, what took you so long to kill these monsters? Like, I know you're a murderer, but like these guys are just so sleazy and it's awful. And I don't even know why it was included in the first place, because it legit is uncomfortable to watch. And it's one of the, with that and the massive amount of nudity in this that I just don't like. And like, bringing up the nudity again, like seeing like it's again like Jamie Lloyd's actress from the other movies, her actress, like she's like crawling around on the ground like she's being chased, topless and covered in blood and everything, and it's just like, it's not something I want to see. I don't want to see this. It makes me uncomfortable, and it's just something that I just wish the movie didn't do, because a lot of this movie is good, with the kills, with the that stuff brings it down. Like, it's definitely not fantastic or anything, definitely not better than the original, but I do like this movie. But the nudity and that rape scene just boil me, and especially that rape scene, and it just bothers me, and that's what brings the movie down for me, is because of that. It's just so uncomfortable to watch that I just can't. It just, my final recommendation is, one is to the studios or whoever can re-release this movie. I feel like this movie can be and take the two versions, I think, and take out some of the unnecessary dialogue from the director's cut, but keep some of the stuff that builds good thing, like the dialogue between the parents and sympathetic Loomis, and take out all the other unnecessary stuff that we really don't need, and cut down on the nudity a little bit, don't show it as much, and swap out the escape scene from the theatrical cut and put that in the director's cut, and just get rid of that rape scene altogether. It's disgusting. But with that all being said, which version would I recommend you watch? I don't see any harm in watching either, except for the freaking rape scene. That's the main problem I have. I do think story-wise and to like the characters better, the director's cut is a better way to watch, and that is the more widely available version. But I don't think I could ever sit through that scene again. So if I ever go back and rewatch this movie, I'll have to skip that scene, or I'll have to freaking just watch the theatrical cut, because this is just, that's just, it's, so what's my overall rating? I can't give it a 4. I don't think it deserves a 4. But I think I can slap it down at a solid 3. I would put it at a 3.5, but if it not be for that rape scene. That rape scene is just awful. What do you guys think of Rob Zombie's Halloween? I'm hoping. I'm scared for Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm legit scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. But that's all I've got to say for this review. We're almost done with this franchise, guys. Almost done. Just 3 more movies, and we're done. And we can move on to something else. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.